Okay. So I just like to make sure this pops up in Facebook before I start talking, because then I'm talking to you guys, not them. Okay, so we are live. Sorry if we're a few minutes late. We're just trying to tech support some people. We may have a sixth person pop in with us in a bit if she can get herself connected. But so far we are live. Myself, Amanda, the owner operator of said group. We have Ashley,
the legend, the legend,
the legend. Oh,
The
geez.
legend.
So we have Ashley over in California. We have Autumn in Florida. Kate's over across the pond in the UK, and then Misty is still in Texas, right?
Yes, Texas.
We're moving within the
Yes, within the state.
within the state. So I just figure everybody's got the planners from this year, so this 2023 one. So I figured they would show off kind of how they use a planner, give you guys some tips and ideas on just in general what you can track with your cross stitch planners and stuff, and then I will show off the 2024 one as we go through. So whoever would like to take the floor can show off here. We've got a hello from Wisconsin. That's Julie Brown. See how far we reach. Okay, who wants to be the first guinea pig?
I can go. Or if Autumn wants to go, whichever. I'll go.
I'll just go ahead and go. So I don't use mine like super regularly, but I do use it a lot for like mostly keeping track of my stitch counts. So I do really like that Amanda put in this little thing to help you keep track of your stitch counts. And then also with our points for the monthly challenges. And then, of course, our Stitch-O boards in it. I've kind of gotten a little lazy with it after January, but January and February, my planner looks amazing.
I find that I have that bit of a crest like that too. Like I'm super good the first couple months, and then slowly, like as soon as it gets warmer, but then once the fall hits, I'm like, no, I've got to use this.
And then she also has a calendar itself in here for us to keep track of your daily stitches or just anything else. I started working on a temperature chart piece. So I started like in the planner. I actually keep track of like what the weather was, the high, the low, the average, and all of that like in my planner. And then as I go through, I just kind of like translate over to the color as I go through actually stitching my piece. I got this from her website too. So this is a Stitchy temperature pattern that I slightly altered. But yeah.
I'm all good with altering, so.
But I use it occasionally like to keep track of like things that are going on, especially like as I'm working 2 jobs, I kind of keep track of like my shifts in there. I also keep track of like when I start a project, or when I like finish a certain part. I'm starting a couple of stitch alongs on July 1st, so tomorrow. I'm starting a few stitch alongs. So I actually like went ahead and put in for the next couple of months like the release dates for each of them.
Which ones are you doing?
There is a Jurassic Park one that I'm joining, and then there's the Cliffside one that I think so I forget who shared it, but somebody shared it in the Discord, and I snagged it as well.
You might have to send me the Jurassic Park link, please.
I will definitely. I'll find the link for it, and I'll post it in one of the many collective
one
sites.
of our places.
Fabulous, thank you.
But it's the second year that they've done a Jurassic Park one. So last year they did one where it was the map of Jurassic Park. And then this year, somebody else is designing it with scenes from the first movie. Is the one that this year is going to be. So I'm excited.
That sounds so cool.
But yeah, I'm like, now that I'm in summer, because I'm a teacher as my primary job. And so during the last couple months of school, I kind of got lazy with it all. But now I'm getting back into it. And this is just how I keep track of my Stitch-O board. So each thing that I do, I keep it just hashed. And then when I finish a row or my boxes or something, like pretty much when I finish one of the options for points, I will highlight it because then it makes me feel even more accomplished. I won points now.
I like
But
that.
yeah, I like using it. It helps me keep my crazy organized, at least slightly more than it was before.
It's funny. I do the exact same thing.
Great minds.
My own boards don't get filled too much because I don't do a lot of the minis, but
Oh, and then I forgot. She also put in a bunch of these blank pages for us to make our own patterns, and I did actually use it once.
That's
And then
really pretty.
occasionally when I'm like redesigning something or I'm moving stuff around, I'll doodle it on those. There's a bunch of like extras that she puts in the back for us. I've recently started using the references for how to size fabric, which I forgot was in the back. And then I was looking through and I'm like, wait, she gave me this. And it made it a lot easier. So,
yeah, there is a calculator online if you don't want to be a math geek and do the actual math, but I thought it'd be fun to tell people exactly how the math works.
yes, but it's a lot of fun. And it makes me feel like I have all of my stitching stuff in one place, even though it's definitely all around the house. I feel like I'm organized. Yeah.
We have a bunch of hellos. There's some people in the UK and England with Kate, and then there's somebody somebody is melting in Tennessee. I've got to go into the actual live so I have some names. The one downfall to using this program to get everybody in one, everybody is Facebook user. So all the Facebook users are saying hi. So I will just open it here because this way you can see names. Oh, no, I'm not seeing all the comments. You pain in my butt. Yeah, we got Bonnie, Layla, Jericho's here, a bunch of people. It's not popping up all the comments, so I have missed some, so I apologize. But if anybody has questions and wants like a name in there so we know who's asking, just in front of your comment, write your name. It could be easier than me trying to scroll through the comments on my second screen to figure out who's talking to us. But Amy, I wonder if we can get Amy in here before. All right, Amy, can you hear? Mute her mic for a second. Kick her back out. Sorry, Amy, but don't know if Amy's going to make it for us. But so that's Autumn. It's funny because I do a lot of the same things with my Stitcho boards and stuff too. One thing I like to tell people when it comes to planners in general, because I have been a planner obsessed person my entire life. And I usually, when I did have a full-time day job, is I would have a planner at work and I'd have a planner at home. And my home planner always ended up like there'd be weeks with nothing. And then I used to get like, I'd open it and I'd feel so bad seeing like a week with, I'm trying to find a week that I did that, but a week where I had nothing. So then all I do is I color it in and decorate it. And it's like, and own the fact that it's okay to not do something for a week. Like you don't have to plan your entire life, but it's nice to have the progress there. If I'm really keen on taking pictures with my phone when I'm done stitching, so it has the date time stamped in the picture. I know how much I stitched that day. If I miss my planner that day, I can go back and the next day and fill everything in too. So
I do that. I'll screenshot my pattern keeper.
Yeah,
so that I can see how many stitches I got for that day when I'm like, I don't feel like going to the other room to write it in my planner.
See, I kind of do the same as you guys, but I have a book.
You go pen and paper style.
Oh yeah, so I have everything, like, I'm trying to find out where my camera is. There we go. So everything's like written down, and then because I'm in another group as well, and they only have like one cross, half a cross stitch is like only worth a half a point, so I have to do all the calculations to get the calculations for them. And then if I'm doing back stitch, I'll do that in a different section, and then the back's just for information. That was a very useful Christmas present last year.
Nobody is willing to like jump in.
Jump in. Who's next? I'm just trying to, because some people can't see things, and I'm trying to like multitask, and I'm not very good at talking and reading, because then I'll start saying what I'm reading.
I guess I can go.
There you go.
So like Autumn, my planner was very much filled out for all of January and part of February. And then it just kind of got abandoned. But what I had been doing was using my phone and putting stitch counts in my phone. Like March 1st, I did X number, and I would actually put like the project name as well. And then I would transcribe it to the planner later. But my January board looked really awesome. Lots of stuff filled out. And I even got stickers to kind of like keep me motivated and help me do meet all the goals. And like Amanda and Autumn, every time I got points on the Stitcher board, I would highlight, and then I kind of bubbled the one like what the final point count was. Let's see. I did utilize some of the stickers that Amanda has that can go along with the planner. Like there is a sheet that has challenge complete, and then I would slap that on the calendar, and then also on the like the weekly spread, I would put like, yeah, I completed the challenge, like the monthly challenge on this day. But as far as like the weekly spread goes, I like everything color coded. So each pattern or whip that I'm working on has a color. And for the longest time, I would put like, if it's like a large whip, I would put like, for like the Christmas Stitchmas, the bobbin one, I would put how many stitches I did, and then pretty much everything, wrong direction, everything that I did that day. But that kind of got tedious, so I just put how many stitches I did. But yeah, I definitely utilized a lot of the stickers. And then I did also color code new releases that Amanda was bringing out. So that kind of went into the notes. And then I also had stickers from other companies, like I think Happy Planner. I have a bunch of, so those were useful. But other than that, at least for January, I had a bunch of pens and markers that I kind of did like color tests on to see which ones I wanted to use. So that's what that page was for. But yeah, anything for the future. I don't know if I did anything in February's doodle. I did not, but like Autumn, February was very, very filled out, at least as far as the Stitcher board goes. Yeah, but pretty much like March on, I used my phone to keep track of stitch counts. But at least January through February, each page has some kind of sticker, whether it's one of the ones that Amanda offers or something else to keep me motivated. That's how I use my planner.
I do have a sticker problem too. A very big sticker problem.
Sticker and pens.
I'm not gonna lie, the reason I brought in extra stickers is because I wanted extra stickers and couldn't justify him sending me like 5 of them. So I'm like, oh.
Use us as your excuse.
Yes. And I also added the bobbins underneath each
Oh, that's
one.
Cute.
Yeah, you doubled them. See, I put them on the inside page on mine.
And I put the little the things of floss too.
That's cute.
I think it was only, I forget why I did that, but I think one of the sheets I was having issues like getting the sticker off. So then part of it started ripping. So I'm like, all right, that's going to bother me. So I just
Put them all
slapped
over.
on all the stickers.
I have a fear of being able to not change where my stickers are. So like most of my stickers stay on the same sticker sheet and never go anywhere. So I haven't used
I used to have such a like, and then I'm going to put it down, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do this right, and then it doesn't land where I want. I'm like, no, I can't take it off. So now I'm just like, I finally got to a point where I have enough stickers because I'm like in a couple different, like they send me stickers every month things, and I have a problem with Happy Planner stickers. So I have like books and books of, so I'm like, I have so many stickers, it's okay.
That's how I feel sometimes with the stickers that we get with the needle minders and everything from you. Is I'm like, they're so cute, but where do I put them? What if I want to move it later? Like, what if I don't like where it is in a month?
I have a drawer. Like these are just a bunch of random ones. Like, and that's all stuff that I just, and if like my husband buys things, it comes with stickers. Like I have Razor stickers, I have Logitech stickers, I have like Hoyt stickers from the Bose. Like I have stickers from everything, and they're not on anything because I'm afraid to put them on something.
Oh yeah.
So Julie Brown says she loves this group. Yes, we love you too. And that she was using a notebook and pencil like Kate, but then found the finger counters as a way to count stitches too. So
I just
that's
got
another
Tried
good.
that.
My
I
mom
love-
used to have one for crocheting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Amazon has a set of like 10 that I buy, and so I have one for each project that I'm working on,
Ooh.
and I
That's a
just
good idea.
fit with the project.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I just got it in the mail, so once
Yeah,
again.
my husband used to work for the railroad, so he has those old school clicky ones. So I'm
Oh,
like,
no way, so
maybe
cool.
I should go steal that because it like clicks and everything.
It is a
All of a
very
sudden-
satisfying click on those.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm like, I could just, he's going to be like, all I'm going to hear is clicking. And then
Oh,
another
which cat-
Amanda said,
Which cat has joined you there, Amanda?
oh, that one is Savannah.
Savannah.
As long as she doesn't clean her butt this time, we're good. She's gone. We had pizza and she likes the bacon on the pizza. So she's at this moment, you can barely see her, but she's on the table trying to see if the pizza is. Yeah, no, it's not there. You coming to visit too? Yeah, now you're gonna make
Aw.
your presence known.
She's
You
like, "What are you
can't
talking
jump.
about?"
She does. She talks a lot. And she sounds like I'm murdering her if I pick her up. But she's 15
Aw.
and can't jump the way she used to. So she kind of misses when she jumps. So I'm like,
Aw.
I don't want my arm scratched up, so I'll pick you up.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, she knows if I'm talking to the computer, she has to come and put her butt in the screen. As I was saying, a different Amanda says that she's just joined the group and she's also a planner lover, so she's interested to see the planner. So I will be showing off next year's too, which is the link is on there to pre-order. They're in production right now, and I should see them hopefully late October at the latest, mid-November. But I have a feeling they're gonna be a little earlier this year because I got started earlier this year. Last year we cut it pretty close. So. And then Amy, I am sorry we couldn't get you in here. I don't know why that link is not working for you. She did just comment to say that it's not working. So Amy was supposed to be with us, and I appreciate you volunteering to come, but sometimes the tech does not work with us all. So Savannah is here in her place.
Aw.
She needs to show off how she uses your planner.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
uses
exactly.
my. She'll just. It's usually Sable that's on my desk, and she'll like sit right here and she'll stare at legitimately just stare at the computer screen as I'm typing away, and she just sits. I'm like, okay, we're gonna work together today, and then she does it with Tyler too. Like she'll go and play video games with him. I'm like, okay, play video games.
Aw. I mean, the question that I've got to ask is Savannah a sticker hoard too?
Savannah, she likes my hair ties. She steals
Okay.
those, not my stickers. My hair ties have to be either on my body or they have to be like I have them all on like lotion bottles or water bottles, or like they have to be on something, because if not, she'll take them, and if they go on the floor, Sable will legitimately eat them whole.
Wow.
I've picked them out of the litter box a couple times, so no more of that, because I do not want to go to the vet to say, hi, my cat ate my hair tie.
I've seen cats eat worse things.
Yeah,
At,
no,
at least you can pick them out of the litter box.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joey, when he was, oh gosh, he must have been about 4 or 5, a needle and thread.
Yeah.
That was costly.
I had
Yeah.
Sable one day when she was younger. All of a sudden, I look at her and she's just going, like, what are you doing? And I can see the thread going. I'm like, excuse me. I like went like this, thought she just had like a small piece. She had like, I'm like, oh my God. So now I really have to watch them around my stuff because I do not want to go to the vet. Self-induced stuff, like my stuff is the reason they're there.
Yeah, I don't have the journal near me, but I have a journal that has like a tassel on it, and my cat was playing with it, and then suddenly I heard the telltale sign, like the sounds, and I'm like, oh God, I look at the tassel, it's missing like 2 or 3 little strands, and I'm like, joy. And yeah, so after like 24 hours of not so pleasant sounds, I'm like, I'm gonna have to take you to the vet, aren't I?
Yeah.
So, but just because I saw that I think it was
Oh.
Julie. Yeah, Julie commented about loving the stickers. I have my sticker sheets, but again, because I have fear of using them, they're still completely whole. I've used 2 whole stickers. I've used a deadline sticker because there's like little arrows for your deadlines. There's also little arrows for like important things or your whips. The challenge complete stickers that Ashley showed. I've used one of those.
What?
And then also my favorite ones, which I'm afraid to use just because they're so cute, is all of the bobbins.
Autumn, that's why I got multiple sheets.
I forgot to order them and I keep forgetting that they exist. And now that I remember, I might order more.
Mine's literally complete apart from one.
You took one whole one off.
One
Misty's
whole
are
one.
full.
Apart from that, I'm not using them because they're too cute.
Misty hasn't used any.
Whereas this one has been destroyed more or less.
Yeah, I use them, but I also use because the additional ones come in smaller pieces. So the handy thing is that I have a bunch of these left in this size. Next year's the stickers themselves are a tiny bit smaller, but I have a ton of these left, and they still fit in the pockets because they're cut in half. Whereas this size wouldn't because it's to the size of this planner. So that'll be. But I'm also bringing in more stickers and.
Can I have more starts and finishes, please? I'm kind of out.
Yeah, you definitely you're definitely a finisher. I think I've used I may have actually used 2, which is a lot for me.
Yeah, I didn't use the full sheet, but I got a bunch of the half sheet ones. So those are the ones that I've been using.
I have to say, I've also used the box that it came in a lot, especially because I was traveling between Corpus Christi and Houston a lot. And so this was a safe place for me to put it and not worry about pages getting ripped or anything. So it's actually really sturdy. So I've been impressed with the box.
So Michelle says that she needs stickers digital, go with the digital version. That was the plan last year, but the digital thing was a whole learning curve for me. So I put the stickers on the back burner because it was just the planners were so late coming in and things were so all together. I just went, you know what, I have to put one thing down. So there is going to be the digital stickers this year in the planner. That is on my list of things to learn and figure out because digital planning stuff is new in terms of adding all the links and the tech and stuff like that. So, but it is in the works.
So I don't know if you guys know, but you guys in America are way more planner orientated than we are in the UK. Like we'll have a diary, but we don't necessarily have a planner. So when I got this, it was so novel to me that I used every single page, and I've even got a list of all my projects that I've done that I'm having to keep going. I'm using the diary, but I'm adding up like all my things on the side. I'm trying to get this in the picture, sorry, and then finding out my monthly stitches and that. But what I have started to do, in what month is this? This is April. So when I finished a project, I will take a picture of it, and then I'll put it in like where I finished that project. And I've been doing that for a little while.
Oh, I love
I
that.
like that. Yeah, it's like
As
a
I
really,
said,
that's
she's
really
a
good idea.
she's a finisher.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Sorry, I'm losing my iPad.
And there's the smoke detector.
Sorry.
These scissors.
I'm back. Sorry. And then what I've done, I'm gonna have to show this on its side because I've not got much room here. Sorry. What I did, in the notes section is I've written down which projects I need to take a picture of, so I can have the picture correspond it with the counts and everything, and then I'm able to put it all together that way. I am starting a scrapbook with them all as well, so that's a new project for me. And
Well, that'll be handy having them when you did them because then you can pull them out and then like you know
exactly.
scrapbook them in order and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like how you had one day where you put no stitching, too tired because
Well, yeah.
bravo.
I got recently diagnosed with underactive thyroid and anemia. So at the moment, if I can find my diary for this month, it's kind of got no stitching too tight. I'm trying to find out where the heck my camera is. no stitching too tired, or no stitching because of this reason. There's migraines, not well, too tired, too hot.
Too hot, yeah. I'm
Yes.
hearing a lot of that one this year.
Oh yeah.
It was incredibly hot, but then on the individual pages, what I do is I write down what project it is, and then how many stitches I've done for that day, and then I'll keep that going until the end of that project. This is a good page actually. So this is my start and finishes, and because I've run out of the start ones, I'm having to use the little ones and just write start on it now. But yeah, and that I've used one of those challenge ones. I think I've used a couple of them actually. But yeah, I'm thinking about maybe once it's all done, like taking all the pictures out, putting them in my scrapbook, and then colouring it in, like as a big end of year project for myself. So that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know.
See as you go. Jericho agrees that it's 100% too hot, and she also said very beautiful work too. And Julie says awesome idea with some of the stuff you mentioned.
The one thing that I like that you've introduced with next year's is the pocket for every month, because I found putting the pictures in with paper clips, I was getting really panicked that I was going to rip the picture.
Well, that and it'll get really bulky with all those paper clips. I think.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, with the pocket, I can just stick them in the pocket, and then when I'm ready, I can take them out. But it'll keep the size of it down, which will be good.
Yes.
I totally want to see your scrapbook of like the year,
Oh yeah, I'm
Hang on.
excited.
all
to
your
see that.
pictures, because that's actually a really good idea. There's a shift button.
Well, yeah, we're going on an adventure.
Sorry.
Kate's showing us her life across the pond.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's different.
So
That's one thing I've noticed with the whole, like, with Stitchees and even the free group and stuff. Like, I'm really seeing how kind of different some lifestyles are and things. So it's really neat
Ooh.
to see.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
That's I remember
awesome.
when you posted that one.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like my claim to fame a little bit,
Yeah.
because that's actually from the head of Weta, who did all of the armory and weaponry for Lord of the Rings. And he says in his message, I'm sending you a personal note for the beautiful cross stitch you kindly donated to our team in the Weta Cave. It was so lovely to receive your beautiful creation, and thanks to Amanda for her help for creating this. We will have it framed so it will hang on the wall of his office. Now, Lord of the Rings, right? Who's going to go into his office? Peter Bloomin' Jackson. So I'm like, oh my God. Proper fangirl moment. But yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
What do you use to take pictures with? I'm just curious.
That's my iPhone. I'm kind of proud of this page. Where is he? There he is.
She's from anything to do with Norman.
Hi, Norman.
Do you just use like a regular camera and?
Yeah, all I use is my iPhone.
You just print them at home?
I got a photo app that I do. I get so many free a month, so I do it through that.
That's handy.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
It's probably similar to like Shutterfly or something that we have
something
here.
like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm keeping the both on the go at the moment, and it's really cool because I was actually given my scrapbook for my 40th birthday, and I never used it for anything on my 40th. So I'm like, I'm gonna use it for something. What do I want to use it for? Oh, I know.
Yeah, there's a good thing to use it for.
Yeah, right.
Oh, but just speaking of your Lord of the Rings weapons and stuff,
It's a lady.
I don't know if you guys can see in the background.
Wow.
That's my roommate's collection
So
of her cosplay weaponry.
So cool.
So both of my roommates are big into cosplay and like going to the conventions and whatnot, and they've gotten me really into it. So I'm just like looking at that. I'm like, huh, it looks like my wall at home.
It looks like my wall.
Yeah, my whole house.
Now Misty's got a kitty.
Yeah. Misty has a Libby.
Join us.
It's almost like Kitty went over to see Misty.
Yeah.
Because Kitty's no longer in this. Because Autumn has a black cat as
Oh.
well.
Yes.
So do I, but she's lazy
She's
and
got
upstairs.
one cream.
Oh.
Oh.
She stepped in paint.
Yeah,
Right.
stepped in pain. Shyla has like 4
A
different
leash.
like white little furs in her chest. Then they're always there. And then she'll randomly get like one white whisker. But otherwise, she's kind of brown now because she likes the sun, but she's still a black cat.
Nice.
I did that the other. Oh, hang on.
Oops.
I did that the other day.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
cute.
Right.
Oh, that's adorable.
But it looks like my Joey, doesn't it, Amanda?
It does, yes. So Kate has a Joey and Ashley has a Joey. Very different animals. They both have
mine's a cat.
ears, pretty big ears. Joey is our bat dog. Well, Brittany Black says black cats are, or no, it's Brittany says black cats are the best. Sorry, we have a Brittany Black too, so that's where it confused me.
House Panther.
House
What?
Panther.
Oh yes, house panthers. There's the void cats. I've heard people call them their familiars.
My roommate calls her my familiar. My roommate is kind of witchy.
Witchy, yeah, we've got
Into
yeah.
that kind of stuff. So she calls her my familiar because she'll talk to me. She'll just come up to me and just start talking. But she'll sit in my doorway at night. My bedroom will be completely black, and I'll just look over and I'll see eyes.
Eyes.
And I'm like, you guys, the void is staring at me again.
Oh, it was so funny. Like when Shyla, we had to bring her in to get her nose checked, so they had to sedate her, and we brought her home. And she's like, "I've never," because we got her after she got fixed. The shelter did all that, so we didn't have the like aftercare of that. But this was the first time I seen her like out of it, I guess. So I put her on her little hut in the bedroom, and she like literally just sits there staring with these big saucer eyes like at the wall. I'm like, you are truly now a ghost or something. Like I don't know what's wrong with you. And like you'd like move in front of her, she would move nothing. Like my other cats would still respond. I'm like, are you alive?
No, and because it's been really hot here in the UK, and we don't cope as well as you guys do over in America at all. I'm like, I've had 3 fans going on me, and that's still too hot. But when I'm stitching, I don't have my overhead light on because obviously it's too warm. So I've been wearing my magnifying glasses, which have a light built onto them. And Joey came and sat on his perch, which is directly opposite me. And I just looked across, and there was these big eyes, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just Joey, just Joey.
All of mine are upstairs. They're everybody's left me alone down here.
Yeah,
Or usually one of them comes.
My Joey
think-
left too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was when we were doing the Discord version. We did a Stitchy Discord before I showed in the Stitchy group, and Sable was like all over, and I'm trying to show the planner, and I'm like going around a cat. Like Savannah recorded it for me, but it was the quality you can't even see because it's a little too blocky. I don't know what happened there, but she was just like all in the way. I'm like, all right, well, this is all about Sable today.
It's the Sable show.
I'm gonna give a shameless plug to 3 Southern Cats and Mama on Instagram. They are amazingly funny. They are just brilliant. There's this really big chunky cat called Willow, and she's just brilliant. Oh, she's so funny.
I could waste a whole day just like scrolling
Exactly.
random animal videos. Like I could just lose the whole day. All right, we only have Misty left.
Yep. So I don't think anyone's talked about this yet. Talk about the whole year at a glance. And I've actually added last year's counts. There we go. And so I'm kind
cool.
of like competing with myself for last year to see if I can.
Oh, that's fun.
More.
Yeah, never thought
Who's
to do
winning
that.
currently? The last year or this year?
Currently, as of the end of May, I am ahead, and I think I have kept that lead this month. So fingers crossed it stays that way. I did start doing the hashtags in the Stitcho board, but I found that like too cumbersome. So let's see, I think it's March that I switched to. I use like a colored pencil. And
Oh,
shaded in that way, and then I use
that's
like
nice.
pens for this because I thought
It
that
looks
was,
like a quilted blanket kind of with the way you've done it.
yeah. And then I cross off the patterns as I download them, and then I'm using this a little bit differently. I mark where the pattern, like how many stitches I've done prior to the month, how many I do during the month, and then how many stitches total, and whether or not I finished it. Kind of keep tracking that way. And then the notes section, I use for like tracking my daily stitches, and then I'll put the totals in the boxes here. I also use this section for tracking my Stitcho progress.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think that's everything that I wanted to share.
I like how you color coded the month.
Yeah, so like Ashley likes to color code, each month has a different color. And then I try to write down all of my finishes for that month. I don't take pictures, but I do write down.
Yeah. I
I'm
did
like,
that
now I
too.
might want to take pictures because that looks
Tempting
cool.
now.
Yeah, I'm like, getting ideas for next year.
Well, that's kind of what I was hoping with this, not just to shamelessly plug the new planner and the old planner, and that's not the whole intent of this. It's just that I want people to see that it can be fun to track. Like, I know some people get worried about counting their stitches or keeping track of their progress, making it too stressful, but it's in no way meant to be stressful. It's just supposed to be something fun that you see, okay, look, last month I did this. Who cares if last month it says I did 1,000 and I should have done 10, but look what I did. That's the focus, right? It's what you did do. And if you write it down, to me, and in the way I've always been with any planner is if I'm writing it down, it will get me more motivated to go try and do at least something. It doesn't have to be immaculate. Yes, there are people in our group that I don't think sleep. All they do is stitch. And then there's people who can only do. Yeah, I was gonna say there could be people that get 10 in a month or don't even touch it in a month, and that's fine. Go in and just color in the book. Like, add some stickers, have some fun with just the book itself. Don't worry about how much you're stitching.
I wanted to add that just like Kate, I write down when I don't do any stitching and then kind of why. I was celebrating, and I'm like, give myself a pass for not stitching. I was busy.
This is why.
Yeah. So I really love.
So, like
this.
you were saying about the box down here. Now I was getting really confused in it. And my mum gave me these somehow to do it. So what I do is I start off adding my monthly stitch count at the front. Then I put my stitches for the month in there. Add it all together in there, and then I do this sum here, and I can figure out the percentage.
That's cool.
But there's just no way on this planet I'm good at maths. So, that calculator at the back, Amanda, not even going to get used by me. Sorry.
That's why I said that here's the link. If you'd like the calculator to do it for you, go there. You know what I mean? I don't do the math myself. I use that calculator every time.
I usually use the calculator. The thing that I really like that's in the back, though, is your needle and strand guide, because this is one thing that I don't think I've ever been able to actually find online, and it converts over for what size needle you should use for what fabric, how many strands you should use, and then it even is if you're doing 1/2 on these higher counts, you slightly change it up a bit. I found this the other day when I was trying to figure out how to do something on even weave, and it saved me.
There are lots of handy resources in the planner.
And I'm always ears. So when the new year, I'm usually planning the next year's, I write the ideas down throughout the year. So now obviously I'm done with 2024 because they're in production, but I kind of make notes throughout the year. And then when I look at the new year's, a lot of things stay the same. Next year still has a lot of the same resources as this year's, because then it's handy with you, right? I don't want you to have to go look for last year's book to find your tapestry needle guide thing. I want you to have that handy. But I've added some things to this year that weren't in last year that I think will be helpful too. So I am always listening.
You said something about a perforated sheet. Are you putting that in every month?
Yeah, so we didn't go perforated, but there is a sheet that you can doodle with and you can rip it out. I didn't do the perforated part because it was too complicated to add it in one page.
Show us the planner. Show us the planner. Show us the planner.
And Bonnie's asking if anybody uses the digital version. If so, do you like it more than paper versions? I think everybody here
last year when I
last year.
stitchy.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, because we don't have such novelties as planners in the UK, I prefer the hardback version. Can I also say, if Jessica's here, thank you so much again.
Yes, Jessica. Now that this is a tradition between Kate and Jessica, which is something I absolutely adore that the Stitchies have kind of built and done themselves, is there's a ton of gifting and love sent to random people that have never met each other. Jessica is one of my founding Stitchies who's been with me from day one. She's actually another Canadian with me too. She gifted Kate her planner last year, and now it's a tradition. She's gifting Kate her planner for 2024 as well, so Kate can keep making those memories in the book. And Jessica, like, that's the first thing she did as soon as I said pre-orders out. She goes, "Tell Kate her planner's coming." There was another Stitchie. I don't want to say a name because she wants to stay anonymous, but she is a Stitchie. She handed me enough for 15 planners to go out physically to other members. So it's just, and there's more. I think Cass is doing 1 or 2 this year. She sends different ones out to like people just pick different people in the group and they just send them out. And I think it's incredible that people have got to know each other without knowing each other. And to the point where we're randomly sending each other things just for the goodness of our heart.
I'll tell you a true story. When you sent me that message on my birthday last year, I am not ashamed to say that I started crying because I was so touched by it. I was just like, oh my God. And my mom was like, what's the matter? I'm like, well, they do this planner in this new group. And I was busy going on about the new group. And she was like, you ever going to stop cross-stitching? No. And then I said, when I got that message, I was in London with my best mate and my mom, and I was just bursting into tears. And they were like, what's the matter? And I'm like, this really lovely girl who I've never met has just done this so sweet thing for me. Oh my God. Yeah, I was emotional when she did it against me this year, so you know.
Yeah, trust me, I will sit here and I'll just like start tearing up. My husband's like, who did what now? Because he'll know that it's something, because between people even in the free group and a lot of the Stitchies are very like-minded. So it, you know what I mean? I guess you attract what you give out in the world is what I believe. So I'm just like, okay, this person did this. I think I need to. And I'll like literally go on Amazon on a wish list for like the shelter locally. And I'll just like throw stuff that like, cause I'm like, I just need to pass it on, even though it's not me doing it. Right. Cause I'm like, I just feel that it means a lot to people, as much as some people may think it's, there's just one planner, but it's like, yeah, but that just changed the world for one person whose stitching is pretty much a sanity thing. You know what I mean?
But I mean, if you think about it, you can hold the planner, and in a way, there's only one planner, but there's a million other Stitchies all working together.
Yeah, on the same things in the same book, and like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I will be scrolling through other Facebook groups, and I'll just randomly like I'll see either a mug or like our bobbin tumblers, or like I go to the mail with my tote bag and I'm telling the mail people my story about like and all I do is I talk about you guys. I don't even, they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, these people, and they do this, and she's like, well, what is it? I'm like, oh, it's a group for cross stitchers. I'm like, she's like, I don't care about who's in it. So let me see if we can get Amy in here. She seems to be here. So all right, Amy, can you hear us this time?
Hey, I'm here. Finally figured it out.
I just hope that we don't echo. Ooh, we're gonna echo when you talk.
Hold on.
If you got headphones, that'd be helpful.
Hold on. I can mute. Is that better?
Maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
Hold on. I got headphones.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mute her when I talk. But Amy, it's because when we talk, it's speakered, so it picks back up in your mic.
Okay.
And there, I'm twice. So we'll see if she can get some headphones on, and then
Hang on, Amanda. You mean there's 2 of you? Why can't you just send one to the UK, please?
Yeah, and send someone to the States. Make a third.
I need to duplicate. My husband does not want more than one of me.
Something tells me Misty might have gone to go get her tumbler or something.
She's on an adventure.
I was just thinking how I should have used my tumbler for this occasion.
The funny thing is I have my water and I didn't put it in here.
Okay. That better?
I think so.
As Amanda said, obsessed much.
I love that glass.
Yeah, we still have an echo. Amy, what I'm going to do is I'll just mute you, and when you want to talk, unmute yourself.
Okay.
This way, at least if I'm talking, I won't hear myself and then stop talking because I get confused listening and talking to myself. Oh, Misty came back. Well, now that Amy's here, before I go into the new planner, we're going to delay it again. And Amy can talk about how you use the planner, and then I'll go on to showing next year's.
Okay. So what I did was, this is the beginning, I put my name on it. Then I did not all of it, but some of it I would put like my whips that I've done throughout that I wanted to do and my goals and all that, filled that page out. I didn't get every page or every month filled out on my stitching count on this part, but like let's go to January. So I color in the stitches I've done. I do my like what I've done, and I put the dates down, and of course I put my stickers.
Gotta have the stickers.
Then, hold on, it's difficult. Okay, so for the month, I'd put like my stitch that I've done, and then like stickers some more, and then what whip I've done, and then over here, I'd highlight the ones that ones I try to do, or the ones that I want on the release. And up here, I would put some of my whips that I've been working on. And then I'd also go through and day by day put in like what I've done. And like I did for the 26th of December, I stitched a total of 797 stitches, and I stitched on for 2 hours. I finished Let's Get Styled as an example. So I do that for some of them, and then the days I didn't stitch, I'd put a 0. And all the way through, there's March. I would do the same thing, but
And a duck.
so, but that's what I've done with my stitchy book.
Oops, I think that put you back. I just threw her out of there. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you out. I'm new to this program.
It's okay.
Okay, so
Amanda, just an idea. Don't know if it's going to be for everybody, but considering I've seen a lot of us use the challenge stickers, not necessarily the cute picture ones, but the challenge ones. Do you think maybe you can include more of them for next year, or is there, I mean, I know there's the option to buy more, but can you include like one extra sheet or something, do you think?
Like of specific parts of
like
the sheets?
The starts and the finishes and everything
Oh,
like that.
gotcha.
Because as you know, I kind of ran out of mine.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking because I'm just looking at what I have that is already here and that what's cut on different sheets. So I'm almost thinking I could say something like that, like then it's only one sheet, not one of each sort of thing. Let me look. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
It
was just an idea because, I mean, if anyone uses their planner like I do, then they're going to be running out as well.
Yeah. Okay, so when it came to 2023 versus next year, a couple things are going to change for the better, I think. As Misty said, the box can be handy as well. Excuse mine that is upside down because I get sample defects. when they make mistakes. So this year the planner, because of there's a bit of a change in the size of the planner, the box itself has also shrunk in the size this way, but it grew on the sides. So one benefit to that this year is going to be not only can Misty carry her planner around when she's moving, you can take your bobbins and store. I only have one bobbin on my desk, but you can store a whole bunch of bobbins in here, or you can, if you have other cardboard, you can fancy this up and do a little kit of its own, and keep different things in it. So the box is staying the same, just changing in size a little, because the planner has changed in size. I did have
I
a lot
really
of
love that idea. Just saying that, I really love that. That's the idea for next year.
Yeah, so it worked out. I didn't even have to, like, I had asked him to make the box specifically this size, but then when he finished the planner, it ended up that it needed the box specifically this size. So it actually worked out pretty good that way. So I did get a lot of requests in 2023 to do a smaller version or have the option to the bigger or smaller, which I did look into. But if we go too small, I found that the writing went too small with it. So what I did instead is I kind of just shrunk it slightly, so that it's not portable, but it is a little bit easier to handle. So obviously this is the 2023 we've been looking at today, and then 2024's is just a tiny bit smaller that way, and it's going to be a tiny bit smaller this way. So a little easier to handle around, which also kind of makes it a little bit thicker. So I kind of find, to me, that feels sturdier. So that's the change in the size itself. In terms of the style, we're staying with the bobbins because I'm in love with my bobbins. And the corners are going to stay the same as last year with the protectors. We've got the solid coils again. This year we have kept the elastic band at the back that you can use as a bookmark or just to close it, whichever way you prefer to. And we also added a pen holder this year, which was another request from last year. Was where can I put my pen that I got with my planner? So we did add the elastic in there. In terms of the inside, we still have our inside pockets and our stickers. But as I said, the stickers are a little bit smaller this year as well too. So when you put them on your stuff, they're going to match to the size of the planner rather than, because these would be, I think they'll be a little big on some parts of your planner. So this will match in terms of size, but I do still have some of the bigger ones too if people end up wanting some bigger ones. In terms of the tabs, another suggestion or request I had gotten was to make them a little bit sturdier. So I went one step above that and we made them sturdier, but we also added a pocket, which Kate had mentioned, onto the back. So this year we've got, well, go back to me, like production assistant here and speaker. So you have a pocket after every month. So you can, like Kate said, you can put pictures of your finishes. You could put other stickers like myself. I know it'll end up being stickers in here, things like that. So the first tab is going to be actually a completely just a progress tab this year. So that's something we didn't have last year. We had the daily counter thing at the front, and then we had some progress sheets at the back. But I moved all of that into the front. So you've got just like your goal planning for the year. There's like a daily actual color in the bobbin sort of bullet journal style thing. Your daily tracker, the same thing. I did put the totals for the months in the bottom for next year's, but I do like Misty's idea of comparing, but maybe next year we'll up another thing in there. So then you have a spot, Kate, you could make smaller pictures and put all of your pictures of finishes in here.
That'd be really cool.
There's a report card. You can keep track of your whips for the year. If you don't have a ton of little ones, you may need more space if you do a lot of different ones. But as I know, the Stitchees for sure will have downloadable versions of all of these pages. And I'm sure I can set something up for those that are in the free group and want to purchase just printable pages. And then you have all your progress trackers, the same as last year. For any of your bigger projects, I find myself, I personally will use these for bigger things. I won't use it if I'm just doing, like, say, the minis or something, because I know that's a couple days. These are for like my stained glass or big projects that I month over month I'm going to be working on. So there's, I think, about 10 or so of those in here as well. And then you have the report for like the end of the year. So where you were at the beginning and where you are at the end for some of your whips, where you can print out pictures and put them in here. Or if you don't want to print things, you can just reference like a folder on your computer if you save pictures there, or write down the stitch counts, whatever way works best for you. Each month, again, we'll have a planner pattern like it did this year. Last year's was flowers and birthstones and things like that. This year, or I guess this would be next year, is going to be a different butterfly to match every year. So that is on the front of each of your tabs, and again, the pocket in the back.
What was the choice for the butterflies?
Sorry?
What was your choosing on the butterflies? How did you come about with butterflies this year?
I threw around a couple ideas in my head, and actually Ashley and I were going back and forth on different birth symbol, like month symbol things, and it was in the list, and I'm like, hey, let me try one, and I did one. I'm like, okay, I like these. We're gonna go with these.
I love it.
So each month, I think there was just a random blog post I found that they had sort of matched butterflies with the colors of birthstones, sort of. So like January's, and like, so April's is a bit white and there's some green, like they kind of just match the birthstones is what I think the idea behind it was. So as I had mentioned, that I didn't perforate the page, but the first page is just a bullet page that you can doodle on for anything you need in a month. And on the back side of it is going to be a shopping list page for stuff you need to pick up or buy or you need for the month. This is the page I'm talking about where you can rip it out because there's nothing on either side that is pertinent to your challenges or your weeks. Like you're not ripping out a week of your month to get your shopping list. So if you need to take this with you or you want to take it out and put it in the pocket when you're done, this page is kind of a freebie to do what you need with it. Catch comments as I go here. Somebody says butterflies may be worth the cost. That's Michelle. The butterflies are pretty. I'm not going to show them all, but I'll show a few. And then somebody asked if the friend couldn't catch the live. The video will always be in the group. I'm going to pin it to the top of the group. So as long as anybody is in this free group and listening right now, and you have friends that want to see it, you just have to make sure they're in the group with us, and it'll be at the top. They can anybody can still comment. So if you're watching this and it's not live and it's recorded, I will watch the comments, and so will, I'm sure, everybody else here. And if you have questions, we can definitely answer. So our stitch challenges are still in here. I didn't change the Stitcho board I changed what's in the board, and I changed the counts, but I didn't change the style of this. I did add an oops board this year. So these are going to be, what did I do? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points that you can get extra for doing things you don't want to do in your stitching. So if you lose your needle, you lose a thread chicken, you knot like there's every month's different. So the things that frustrate you will still gain you points at the end of the month, just to kind of give you a little happy behind the frustration that sometimes it may cause.
You jab your finger into your needle, or
Exactly. So depending on the month, I switched them up. So I thought we'd have a bit of fun with even the annoyances that happened. So then, yes, like I said, the challenge is the same here. It's just I changed the innards of it, and then there's a page for the Stitchees to put in any of your releases and things. I did not put the dates this year because I knew that I was going to switch your release dates to a once a week, here's your bundle of things, rather than every random day that things went out. So you can write things down there. And then there's some blank space to make note of when we do stitch togethers, when we do team challenges, all the goodies that come with it. Or if you want to like track your stitch bucks or any of that stuff, this is kind of your Stitchy page. Nice. Your daily or your monthly planner is here, and then your report card for the year. You've also got one each month. So if there's smaller whips you're working on that you'll finish in the month, you can use this one. Maybe use the annual one for bigger things that are going to last. Like if you're like me and you have forever projects, those can go in the annuals, and you can use this for little ones. There's a page to put some of your goals for the month, as well as there's like the same X's as the stitch count to count if you have finishes. So you can color those in for finishes that you have each month. You can like write the date in the little X if you want to know what days you did them on, that kind of thing. Then we have our weekly spreads, which are the same. The only thing I did is that I did add in the lines into each day so that you can write a little easier, not in a blank box. For the task one, I added a little checkbox line. So if you want to be able to check stuff off. And then instead of the notes section, I kind of went with what Misty did there is we have kind of just the whip tracking for each week. So you can, put what you started at, what you stitched that week. Did you meet your goal? That sort of thing. Just again, to keep track of your progress as you go. So that will repeat every month. There's one more butterfly. The rest you do not get to see. And then the back one still has those resources and things. So there are still some pattern doodle pages in there. And the resource page, instead of having all of the progress trackers back here, it does still have your inventory sheets to keep track of your inventory so you can transfer over from your old book. And then it does still have how to calculate your fabric, your needles, the little dictionary, and some pages to write in the back there. So those are the few little changes, but mostly it stayed pretty close to the same. With next year's planner, anybody who does buy one will get a pen included. The color will be randomized, but these are my sample colors.
Ooh, exciting.
So they do kind of match.
One?
And for anybody who does pre-order it, I am going to send out an email a little bit closer, number one, to confirm that the address I have is correct so that I send them to the right place, because some people will move between now and October. And I'm also going to ask for a color preference. I cannot guarantee, but I will try to do my best to get them all correct. But with them all going through, if I make a mistake, I will apologize now. But I am going to try for anybody who pre-orders to at least do my best to get the colors they want, depending again on the quantity too, and where you are on the pre-order list.
Amanda, I was going to say I think, is it every month that you have it, the little page where it says like Stitchee, like dates to remember where people can write stuff in. I was going to suggest for non-Stitchies, maybe they can use that to track like, oh, I'm doing this stitch along from this group.
Yes.
Like, that's
so the page doesn't have to be for specifically, even for Stitchees. You don't, like, there's a lot of space there, so you can also add in other things, or you can track even our stuff that we do outside of the Stitchee group, things like that. So free to use it's just a page this way. I've got a page in there for Stitchees, so you guys, because I know you guys with me get usually 4 to 6 things a week. So I want to make sure that you guys can keep track and save all those things where you want to save them. So I made sure you had a page there. So somebody else here. Christy's asking how much the planner costs instead of printing one. So the planner is $55 and all of the prices are in US dollar. And then this shipping, I believe you are on this side, so would be $15. So shipping to Canada and the US is $15. Over the pond is $30. I wish I could make that cheaper, but unfortunately I am already subsidizing that myself because they want it even more. So I know it's hard, but I know it's great to get them over there because I know you guys want them too. There's a lot of cross stitchers on that side. So that's the number I got to that was comfortable for both sides.
Make sure you're not out of pocket though, Amanda.
Nope.
There's no point breaking your back for it.
It's a labor of love, so I'm just happy these books get out there. I do drink a lot of coffee in November when this happens, but and my house is full of boxes because it is just like at my house. So like last year was the first year I did like the bigger load, and I had 300 of them come, and UPS calls me and she's like, I have stuff for you, and it's a lot. And I'm like, she's like, is this your house? I said, yes. She goes, okay, is there somebody there that can help my driver pick up these boxes? I'm like, does he have a dolly? Like, you're a delivery driver. So then I had like their 30-pound boxes of planners like stacked in my sitting room, which is actually the cat's playroom. This year we have 500 coming in for sure. I have finalized my numbers. So at this point in pre-ordering, you'll see the number countdown. I think we're at about 350 left. So once they are gone, they are gone. I cannot get more because it takes too long to bring them over. It'll be partway into next year by then. So the magic number is 500. We're down to about 350 at this point. So obviously as we get closer, that number will move even faster. So if you do want to make sure you get one, as long as you have that pre-order in before that 500 number turns to 0, you guarantee to have one. If after that point, you will have to go with the print your own option, use the digital version, things like that. So those are always available, but the printed one is a very limited stock with it. I brought in extra this year, but not that much extra. I only got so much room.
Yeah, last year I did the digital and ended up printing it all, and I was like, okay, this year I'm printing. I'm getting the paper one that's already made. I'm just gonna skip that step.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a lot less headache.
Now, if we do the payment plan, we're on the pre-order, right? Still?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So any Stitchees that did the payment plan, which is an option that the Stitchees had, you are on the pre-order list with your payment plan, obviously, as long as all 4 payments go through. And for any Stitchees that are watching, the payment plan is done as of this weekend because those 4 payments need to be done before the planners get here. So if you want to sign up for the payment plan, then do so this weekend. If it's after this weekend and you happen to really want a payment plan, I can maybe do a 3 installment version or something. So private message me, but otherwise that payment plan option is going to disappear for our Stitchees. So with that, we're also bringing in 2 other products, I guess you can call them. With the planners, our Stitchees are getting a bonus and they get one of these nifty little notebooks with the planner. So for anybody who is a Stitchee and pre-orders gets the notebook for free, but they will also be able to be purchased beforehand to be put in with the planner. So they're coming in, they're just little bullet journals, so nothing fancy on the inside. I think they're 80 pages with the elastic on the back and a bookmark just to keep your notes. They're going to be coming in this pink, a dark purple, and a lime green in this size. And then this size, which is a hardcover one and a smaller one. So like somebody who like Kate, who likes to write down her numbers every day, this would be a handy little sized version. This one's going to come in this grayish black version, a teal, and a blush pink. I see Ashley dancing over there. She's not on the screen here now. She's on the screen.
You say teal, and my ears perk up even more.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then I really liked the yellow too. So I asked him if he can add a color. So I don't know how many I'll get of them, but he did say he's gonna. And I don't know what size the yellow is gonna come in, but I did ask for at least some yellows. So these will be available to purchase beforehand that I can put in with the planner for anybody who pre-orders, so that you don't have to pay extra shipping to add these. They can be put into the box with it. So I'll be bringing in a bunch of these. Same thing. The stock on these is going to be limited as well, but this is something I can bring back in. So if it does seem to hit it big and you love using these every year, even just to journal yourself, these are going to be an ongoing thing. Planners, I just can't bring in more because I have to minimum order those. And I don't.
What does it say on the front of them?
That says Stitchee Notes.
Oh, cute.
In nice little gold, rose gold foil, depending the color, it makes it look different.
And people will have the option to purchase separately if
yes.
they. Okay.
Yeah. So as the Stitchees will have the option. I know I've had a couple people asking for specific colors. If they're torn on wanting, say, the teal or the turquoise one, and it's all the sizes will be different colors, right? So if they want to opt for their bonus to be the small one because they prefer the small, or because they like the hardcover, or because they like the color, the Stitchees will have the option to pick in the size. So you can have the bigger or the smaller. And then, like I said, I'm going to ask for color preferences to see, but that depends on the stock of them too. I have to see how many of each one are coming in. So those are just an extra added little goodie to put in there. Something else fun. Okay, so we have. It's funny, one part updates quicker than the other part. Christy's asking, where do you order the planner and sign up for the payment plan? The payment plan, if you go into the Stitchee group, our private Facebook group, I believe I have it pinned at the top right now in the featured. So if you go to featured, you'll see the link to the payment plan, which is through PayPal, and you'll see the link to the pre-order if you just want to outright buy it. So that's for anybody that is part of the Stitchee group. For those that are not part of the Stitchee group, there's a link at the bottom of this to pre-order the planner itself. And as soon as you purchase it, within 24 hours or so, you'll see an email that says, thank you for your pre-order. That's me just adding you to my official list of addresses and things. And then what I'm going to do is closer to the date, probably late August, early September, I will email everybody and just say, okay, I want to make sure that the address that I got from your order is still the correct one. You haven't moved. And I'll ask for color preferences at that point for pens and notebooks.
Who is it asking for the payment plan? I'll tag them in the post.
Christy Woodruff, and I'm not going to try the last name. Kirsch, maybe? Kirsch? I don't know. I'm not good with names, so. It's Christy with a C. And somebody asked how many are in the project week spot. Let me see if I can figure out where we're talking here. That was Kate asking that. So on the weekly one, we have, I'm gonna move this so it's just me for a second so people can see. There's just the whip notes is per day. So you can just track which whip you're working on that day, how many you did. So I just have how many stitches you did, what whip you're working on, and what you have left to the goal that you set for yourself, either for the week or the month. I know personally I do a weekly goal, and then I'll kind of track that, and then I do a monthly goal. So I kind of have a two-part goal sort of to them. And then each month there's the report card at the front that has room for 10 different whips here. So that is, like I said, these are ones that maybe you can finish in a month or two, or you can put all your whips if you don't have a lot. Some people only do one or two things. So, but if you have, like Kate does a lot of smaller projects, so maybe on a weekly or on a monthly basis, she can track her small projects. But if she has that one big project, she can put it up in the front one because there's an annual report card too. So it all depends on how you stitch to kind of play with the pages. I tried to make them a little bit flexible to work. Everybody can work their own magic in it. Okay, anybody on here have any other questions? And Emily says, see, now I want one.
That's how it goes.
Exactly, right?
You get your first planner and then you never leave me. I have the first planner I made. So 2022 was the first year I had this harebrained idea of making a planner. And I did it just at a print company here in Toronto because I had no idea how to source otherwise. These tabs are my own tabs, but it's just like literally like what Staples would do, and with the flimsy things. And it was a great first planner, but then I started sourcing, and I'm like, and the guy's telling me all the things that they can do, and I'm like, ooh, I want all of the things. And then every year, so now this year, like in March, he'd message me and he's like, okay, we going to start? And I said, yeah. And he's like, we can do this. And now he's making suggestions. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. He's like, do you need extra this? Do you need extra that? I'm like, don't ask me that question.
I don't entirely remember when I joined the free group, but I know I joined in the Stitchees in the September cohort. And like that was right around when final purchases of the 2023 planner were going through. And I'm like sitting here jostling back and forth, like, do I want to commit this money? Like I just joined the group. Like, do I want to commit this? Do I want to do this? And then like I looked through the 2022 digital planner because I bought that thinking like, okay, maybe I'll buy this, see what the 2022 one was all about before I make my final decision. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm hooked. Like, sure, I'll do it. And I haven't regretted it a single day since.
Yeah, Jericho says this is her third. I knew, and it's funny because I'll see the names every year and I'm like, yes, they're buying it again. So Emily did the digital this year. Betty said she printed the first one she printed the first one herself and then decided to buy one this year, and it's definitely a must now. And Myra just says we are all in trouble. And Maria wants to know how to get a digital copy. I will put a link to this year's, so you can still get the 2023 planner, which will come with all 12 of the 12 of the patterns from this year and everything. So I know people will ask me, it's July, why aren't the planners on sale? Because everywhere else the planners are on sale, but because it still has all 12 patterns and you still get a lot of really good resources in there, that the planner does not go on sale.
Yeah,
digitally.
Misty, show off what you're working on.
Oh yes, those would be
Oh,
I was gonna say,
up on mine.
Here, let me make Misty big. So these are the patterns that are in the 2023 one. So we went that year with a flower, gemstone, and some different things that represented each month.
Oh, it's looking so good, Misty.
That's gonna be so cool to have every year.
I'm working on doing the same layout, but I'm a lot farther behind than you are.
She's not making
You're on
noise.
mute.
Can I unmute you? No, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I went to answer a question and myself. But yeah, so that makes me feel better that you're farther because I'm like, June is so not close to done. But
I
Yeah,
have
that
like
was
half of February done, and that's about as far as I've gotten. I've done the bobbins. But yeah.
I went crazy and decided that I was going to do 4 strands of a toil with this. So that's why it's
taking so long.
not further along. Started that and was like, what was I thinking? But I'm not going to frog that. So
I don't find it that
it'll be
bad to
slow.
work with.
Well, it wouldn't be so bad, but I'm doing it on 18 count. So it's very, very thick in there.
So Jericho says she's doing a different layout, but she's only on Marches. We have another Amanda who said she's signed up to the wait list to learn about becoming a Stitchie, which is awesome, and pre-ordered the planner. So for anybody else that may have that question, our Stitchie group is opening again in September. I think I have picked a date, actually. I think it's in the calendar. It's early September. And enrollment into our Stitchie group is a limited enrollment. There is only room for 500 because I like to get to know everybody and be very hands-on with this, including Christmas cards and birthday shout-outs and stuff like that. So I really don't want to go above that because that's part of a perk to this group is that we all know each other and we're all very close-knit. So we will have, I think, about 50 to 60 spaces, so it won't be a lot of room. So you'll want to be on the list to make sure that you're the first to hear about it. The first people that do get to hear about it are Stitchie Lights. That's kind of our little budget-friendly paid newsletter. So they get a couple different stitch-alongs a year, as well as some other little goodies. And they're the first to get those coveted Stitchie positions. So for anybody like Amanda that's interested, you just, as long as you're on my email list and you see my emails, you will see, because I will talk incessantly for a week about becoming a Stitchie.
But speaking of the Christmas cards, this isn't all the ones I received, but I still have all of my Christmas cards out from our last exchange.
Gee, that'll be fitting to your Christmas Secret Santa that we do in July. She still has her Christmas up.
And
But yeah, I
Stitchy
still
doors
have all
open
of those up just
on
because
September
I didn't
8th.
feel like taking them down. So I'll just replace them with this
Next year's.
year's Christmas exchange.
And Christy asked if she can buy a second planner for her mom. You absolutely can. The planners can only be purchased like individually on the pre-order just because I want everybody's address, because I know some people will buy them for other people and I don't want to have to make sure that because I'll go back to those orders to grab the addresses and I want to make sure that I send them to the right people. So if you're sending one to yourself, you put in an order with Christy and then you put another order with mom and mom's address. If anybody is looking to order more than one to the same place, then just private message me and I'll work the system so that it allows you to make more than one. I just want to make sure, because I know last year I ended up with people buying 2 and then I'd ship them both to one place and it was supposed to go to 2 different places. And so this way it's just a little more safe for me, because it's a lot of information to try to make sure everybody's there. So she said she pre-ordered hers and she's going to do one for my mom. Yeah, so if you want to message me about your mom's, I can make sure that you don't pay double the shipping. You just pay, I think it's a couple dollars more to put the weight of 2 in one. So I think it was $15 to ship one, and I think it was maybe $20 to ship 2 to the same address. So if you message me, we'll work that out.
I'll try desperately not to have flu this year so I can take part in the card exchange.
Yeah. Yeah, our card exchanges are fun. I get a lot. My mailman's like, wow, you have a lot of family. I'm like, yep, I do. This is my family. So
Once the Stitchie, always
The best
a Stitchie,
family.
I suppose.
I have more fun with this than my family. So
I know my dad was asking if I wanted to go get dinner today, and I was just like, well, I kind of have a thing. I'm like, can we do lunch instead? And he said, well, why is that? And I'm like, well, because I want to do this. Like, this is my online family.
yeah. That's what I said to my husband. I said, well, we're going to have pizza today, and I'm going to go get it early so that I can do this at 5 o'clock, because I wanted to try to make it a time that a lot of people were getting off work to watch, and then obviously to match all the time zones we're in. I didn't want Kate staying up too late. It was a little crazy to get any because I was going to get Sam or something from Australia to get in here, but the time zones are a bit. It was asking a lot to have them up at like 3 a.m. to come in.
The time zones, even for me, when I went to Australia in February, I come back and it would have been fine. But the cat wouldn't let me sleep. So the jet lag lasted for a whole week instead of a couple days.
Because the cat, they have watches.
They do.
Yeah, cats have, and I don't know where they keep them, but they definitely have watches. Because I used to give mine, like, because they're free fed, so they have food all the time. But then I'm giving them wet food because of Savannah. I want to make sure she stays healthy weight and whatever. So because she gets some, of course, the other two get some. So now they require it. It's not a optional thing anymore. And I used to do first thing in the morning, and I'm up fairly early, so I'm up like 6:30 or so, and so are the cats. And they were like in my face meowing, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna have food at dinner. So now it's 8 o'clock. So we'll be watching a movie downstairs, and Sable will come to the stairs, and I'll see her staring at me from the stairs. And then as it gets closer, she moves closer, and then she starts meowing. And then she comes on the table and just, I think I sent Ashley a picture one day. She like dead stares at me from the floor. And I'm like, okay, we're going to feed you soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, my parents' dog is like 5 o'clock on the dot.
Hi, Joey.
He's barking for food.
Joey's back.
Hi, Joey.
Her ears don't fit in the camera. Ashley's gone. Joey's here.
I wonder if my Joey from the other room's like, is that me?
Are you talking about me? I'll get on chats with one of my friends, and she'll see the cats, and she'll go to talk to them, and I have headphones in, and I'm like, you know that they can't hear you, right? Oh, Julie says Joey is adorable. Yeah, I feel like Joey needs to be like our mascot.
The dog mascot?
The dog. He can be like in charge, can be in charge of the Stitch buddies.
We need a Stitch buddy club.
Yeah. We definitely have. I have this vision of like making a page that has everybody's like animals.
Yes.
But we're not going to go there yet because that's just more to add to my list.
Yeah, I like
the
the addition of the word yet.
Yet. There's always something. I'm always doing something. All right. So I don't think there's any more questions out there. I appreciate all of you coming and hanging out with me.
No worries at all.
Whoever just turtles are allowed. Yes.
Not like
Sorry
turtle.
about being late, you guys.
That's okay. I'm glad you got in.
Yeah.
All right. So anybody has questions about the planner, you can continue to comment. I'll come back in and check, or you can private message me or message in the group. I don't, just tag me if that's the case. Ashley will probably see it and catch me on it because she's pretty good at being the little mod ninja over there. Pre-orders, like I said, are being accepted now. The quantity you see is the quantity we got. So if you see 300 and you're safe now, but in, I don't know, a month, 2 months, I don't know how they're going to go. But if you see 10, they're not going to be more than 10 after that. So just make sure if you're really sure you want one, make sure to grab one early. That's all I have. Thank you again, everybody. And we will talk to everybody soon.